it's Janine from Slow Body, and today I'm going to go over a few exercises that are going to help us work on balance. So I'm going to start you on the floor. It's really going to target a fair amount of core strength because your core, your hips, and your abs are going to be directly related to how you are able to balance. So not just coming from the feet, but starting to stabilize through your center to help that balance. So we'll start on the ground and we'll work to standing. So we're going to start on our backs. And we'll just let the hands rest on the belly to start, and just a little bit of movement for warm up. So as you breathe in, we're going to roll towards the tailbone. I'm going to move my arm out of the way so you can see this, increasing the space between my low back and the floor. And then as you take your exhale, you can push with your feet a little bit away from the front of the room or the mat, and you're going to ground the low back. So we'll take that again. Breathing in and exhaling. And we'll take it 2 more times. So nice inhale, tipping toward the tailbone, and exhale. I'm pushing a little with my feet, drawing my belly down and my back and my ribs. I'm trying to flatten. And then one more time. And then exhaling. And from here, we're going to take the arms up, and we're going to bring our knees up. And you can take a second and rock around here a little bit. And we're going to bring the legs up to what I call a tabletop position. And hands are going to press into the legs. So when I teach this, a lot of times I see this happen. You don't want your knee inside the hip line or towards the chest. You'd like to feel the knee right over the hip. And if that's hard to judge, your abdominals will start to kick in and engage when you get to that spot. And then it's as if you're going to push your knees to the space behind you and push your hands into your legs. So basically, I'm pushing into each other to stabilize. And when I'm doing that, I'm going to start to feel all of this having to work. And as I'm working through there, you're going to see that I'm going to try and keep my back flat on the floor. So hands to knees, shins parallel to the ceiling, breathing. Hands press into knees, knees press into hands. You're attempting on those exhales to compress the front of the ribs and keep the back flat on the floor. We're just going to breathe for 10 seconds. Again, on those exhales, knees into hands, hands into knees, back presses into the mat. And then we're going to let that relax and bring the knees into the chest. Now, if you're getting that correctly, you're going to feel your whole middle firing up. All around the ribs, all around the belly. We're going to take it again. So hands into knees, knees into hands, anchoring down through the whole back as you're doing it. Your pressure is about 20, 30% of your pressure, holding for 10 seconds. Big breaths, really sensing you got the floor behind you to help you out. And then as you exhale, bringing that in. Now if you only feel this part right here, you're using the legs more than pulling the abs down. So you'll feel the hip flexors at the top of the thigh a little bit, but you really want to see if you can feel the whole center. Feel free to take that one more time if you like on your own, especially if you had trouble kind of finding it. And then we're going to add on. So the second piece is that we push hands into knees, knees into hands. Again, about 20% of your effort. Then we're going to let go on the right side. Right arm straight up to the ceiling. Right leg kicks straight up to the ceiling. You are attempting to really straighten this leg. This is key. So straighten it as much as you can, even if it has to move away a little bit. This is doing what we did on the first exercise, hand into leg, leg into hand. And then you keep on breathing and you start to reach, right arm away from right leg. Again, right leg really straight. And this is where you'll start to feel all through your middle. You want to keep that back on the floor. Squeeze your booty. I'm squeezing that right side of rear. Reaching the arm. I'm only going to go as far as I can, keeping my back flat. Then I'm going to pull down on my abdominals and pull those ribs in. Keep the shoulders on the floor to bring it all the way up to the top. And we'll repeat that. Pressing hand into leg. Find that anchoring through your back first. And then reaching. Heel away from hand. Hand away from heel. Really straight leg. Keep on breathing. Go as far as you can. So you might look like that. And you start to lose this, you want to stay here. You go as far as you can, then you pull it all down, round the back, and then knees in the chest. Rock it around, take a break. We're gonna take the same thing on the other side. So anchor, left arm and leg. Really straighten the leg. Anchor the back on the floor. Pull down in the ribs. Pull the belly button down towards the spine, anchoring the back. Go as far as you can. You can squeeze that left side of the rear end. And then down through the ribs. Down in the back to bring it all the way back up to the top. And if you need a break, take it. We're gonna go one more time. Big breaths, every exhale. Compressing the ribs, squeezing that booty. This is staying stable. And then all the way back up to the top and knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. So now this is gonna start to be fired up, turned on, and ready to work. So we're gonna rock and roll forward and back, or you can roll to the side to come on up. And then from here, just arrange yourself so you can lay sideline on your mat. So it's kind of nice to either use the front edge or the back edge of the mat to make you straight. So we don't want to be where the legs are coming in front of us. We want to be an all straight outline, and you can just lay your head on the bottom arm here. So once you're there, outer edge of that bottom foot is going to push down into the floor. So that pinky toe side, and the top leg is going to squeeze into it. We're going to engage our rear end, compress the ribs like you just did. Right, and then we're gonna breathe here. We're gonna take our top leg, raise it up a couple of inches. So now I'm pushing my bottom foot into the mat. My top heel is pushing a little to the ceiling. You're gonna start to feel your rear end engaging. And then if you have that, you can see if you can take the bottom hand off the floor. And then if you have that, reach the top arm, or the top hand off the floor, top hand overhead. So I'm pushing with those feet, even though it doesn't look like I'm doing a lot. I'm anchoring my belly button to the spine, drawing the ribs in. I'm going to bring the hand back, the leg down, relax. I'm going to roll over to the other side. I'm going to sweep around so I can still keep facing you. Same thing, use your mat. The big tendencies I usually see in this, I'm going to turn this way, is that, where your legs go behind you, or this, where the legs come in front, or this, where you tip the torso front. So that's why I'm suggesting possibly using your mat to make you out in a straight line until you can find that on your own. Pinky toe side of the foot pushes into the mat, legs firm up, rear end engages, belly draws in towards the spine, ribs compress, press the bottom foot up, bottom foot down, I should say, whoops, top heel up. And that's what will happen, you'll rock around here. You're going to start to use your middle to stabilize. Once you have it, try picking the top hand up. Now you might fall back and forth, that's okay. And then you can take that top hand overhead. And you can see I have a little more bobbles on this side. Breathing, again, heel, top heel up, bottom foot into floor, lower down, come on back to center. Shift yourself back to child's pose. Remember all that stuff, it'll come on back. Rock the hips a little side to side. Inhale up to tabletop. So you might be wondering, how is all this gonna help me bounce? So all that work you're doing there is getting your core muscles to start to fire so that they're gonna be ready when we stand up and need to use them. It's a little easier to find it when you're on the floor, you have lots of feedback. So just warming up the spine a little bit, palms pressed down, shins into the floor, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone around the back of the spine towards the ceiling. So I'm drawing up on the muscles on the front of my body. Inhale, reverse. Tailbone goes up. Hands pull a little on the floor, shoulders towards hips. We'll take that again. This is your basic cat and cow. Rounding, pushing with the palms. Inhale, reverses. I'm drawing my shoulders back towards my hips, hips to shoulders. We're going to take it one more time, pushing down through the palms. This is lifting. Belly, ribs draw in, rear end can engage, and then reverse. Rear end goes up, shoulders draw back towards the hips. We're going to come back to neutral. So remember when you were laying on your back, ribs in, belly a little engaged. You've probably seen this exercise before. We call it bird dog. You're going to slide your right leg back. As you do it, you want to make it straight, squeeze the booty, And then here's the big thing, and Kirk, maybe you'll walk around. When this leg slides back, a lot of times the hips shift off to the left. So you really want to keep that hip right over its own knee. Notice if it wants to default over there. It's just a compensation pattern. Then you push down through your hands, you keep the front engaged. The back leg's gonna raise up a couple of inches, and once you have that, the opposite arm reaches forwards. This action through here is very similar to what you were doing on your back, although it'll feel less intense than that. If you have that, you can add on by tucking the tail and rounding into that cat back, bringing your knee up to your forehead and your forehead to your knee. And breathe in, you extend back out to that bird dog, hand down, knee down, rear end to heels, rock the hips. Inhale right back up, we'll do the other side. So, left leg back, firm up the thigh, squeeze the booty. Hip right over the knee. Middle, not sagging down, lifting up, and then you keep that firmness through the back leg and the rear end as you raise it up. So what happens here a lot of times is this. Don't want to do that. We want to keep this engaged. Then we can pick up that right arm and reach it forward. Either breathing here, or if you have that, then you can add on and round. So again, I've got to lift up through my center and push down through that hand to round in, and then hang on through my ribs and belly to find that balance reaching out. Hand will go down, knee will go down, rear end to heels, rock it side to side. Feel free to repeat that 1 or 2 more times. And then we'll come to downward facing dog. You can tread through the feet here. So we'll wake up our feet a little bit more. So pressing all the way up into the ball of the foot. And then switching, spreading the toes out wide. And then just start to take that walk forward to your hands, coming towards a forward fold. As you come to forward fold, spread the toes, press down and out. So when I say that, I mean if you had your feet against the edge of a wall, like the molding, you're trying to push your feet into the edges. So heels are pressing out a little bit. And then I'm going to roll up doing that, feet pressing down and out. What that's going to do over time is going to start to activate our booty where we need it for balancing. So now I'm going to face you. I'm going to come all the way up to the top. If you had your feet aligned from your forward fold, you might be good to go, rolling right up to where you need to be. As you get up to the top, the feet will press down and out again. We lift up through the front part of the belly and we engage the rear end. So strong through the legs. As we inhale, arms will come halfway up. And then exhale, we'll move them out to the sides. We're going to shift onto the left foot. So here's where we come into the balance. This is ready to go. The work that we've been doing is preparing us. So we want to have a little bit of that anchoring through our abs and ribs, the firmness through the booty and the thigh, strong leg. And then like we did on the sideline, keep pushing down through that outer edge of that foot. From the fourth toe, the one to the pinky toe, out to the pinky toe. And then the next piece is swing the left leg in front of the right. Now I'm going to put both feet on the floor as if I were on a balance beam. If you want a little more of a balance challenge, let the arms fall, soften the knees a little bit, and then practice rocking into the front foot and rocking to the back foot. Now as I'm doing this, I'm still trying to press my feet down and out. And that's going to help stabilize from the hips and make a firm foundation through the feet. Once you play with that, arms will come up. You make that back leg again really strong. Oop, I'm a little tippy. And then we pick the front foot up off the floor. Both legs straight. Part 2, float the knee up. Again, as this goes up, this gets stronger standing down. And from here, if you've got that, arms raise overhead. And we keep lifting that knee up, pulling the shoulders down. Most importantly, strong standing leg. From there, heel to big toe, foot to floor, and then shift it on over. Soften the knees, swing the hips around, circle your shoulders. In case you might have been holding your breath on that, take a couple breaths here. And we start over. Feet press down and out. The arms are gonna come halfway up. Right here, lift, firm up the booty a little bit, and we're gonna shift strong onto the left leg. Right foot will come in front. Remember, first drill like you're on a balance beam. You can soften the knees. You want more of a challenge? Drop the arms. You'd be surprised at how tricky that is. Forward, rocking back. Not leaning my chest forward and back, but shifting the hips forward and back. Kirk, you might want to watch that one from the side. I'll do that one from the side. So I'm going to put my arms up so you can see. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But getting my shoulders right over the hips. Rock forward, rock back. Yeah? Now as I rock back this time, I'm gonna straighten the legs, pick the front foot up off the floor. Outer edge of foot, firm up the thigh, squeeze the booty, belly's lifted, ribs are a little engaged, float the knee up. If you've got that, arms float up. We didn't talk about focus, but notice how I'm looking straight out. I'm not looking down at the floor. That's actually gonna challenge my balance a little bit more. I'm gonna look straight up and out, just a little above my eye line. Lift that up, lower, both legs straight, foot to floor, shift it over. Drop the arms, circle it around. I'm gonna give you one more. So, starting the same way, can't emphasize it enough. Big toe, pinky toe, heel, feet press down and push out. We lift up the thighs, so engaging a little through the quadriceps. Not so you're jamming your knees back, but so you feel your legs straight and strong. Engage your booty, lift through the belly, compress the ribs up slightly. Shoulders right over the hips, we shift onto the right leg. Can start in the same way we did before. I'm gonna go on a little more swiftly this time. Floating the knee up. Arms go up if you're going on. Now we're gonna go arms out and knee out. As I do that, I have to really go strong through the standing leg and push down through the pinky toe side of the foot. Now I'm gonna bring it all back together. And we'll take that again. Arms go out, the thigh rolls open. Notice I didn't do that. I'm gonna keep that knee up. It's gonna be a little in front of me. And the standing leg's gonna feel like it has to open towards the other side. We'll bring it back together. We'll lower the foot down, drop the arms, give it a little shake out, and we'll do side two. So one more time. Big toe, pinky toe, heel, feet press down and out. Lift up the front of the thighs. So engage the muscles, they straighten your legs. Squeeze your booty. Pubic bone lifts up, ribs a little compressed. Arms come out or forward, whatever works for you. Push all the way onto the left leg. Right foot comes in front. 1, 2, arms can go up 3, and we take the knee open. So see how it's a little in front of me? Otherwise we get into that business. So nice and tall, just like when we did one arm forward and one leg back on the bird dog. And then all the way back up. And we take it again, opening it out to the side. Spreading the toes. Squeeze your booty, and these little tippies that you see me doing, that's okay. That's your body adjusting, finding it, building strength. Lower it down, lower the hands. And that's it for today. Janine from Slow Body down here in Delray Beach, Florida. You can find us on Facebook at Facebook/Slow Body or on the web, slowbody.com. See you soon.